Hey guys, my name's Troy Hoffman. I'm the founder of Simplurus and the founder of Balancegenics and an executive mentor. What we do every week here is we're creating these things called Fireside Chats. We basically transform this entire space into a studio every week.
4, 3.
In the house today, we've got Walt Tomolina. Today in the studio, we have Ty Cannon. He's also one of the top anti-aging doctors in the country and probably even in the world. And what I want you to see is the opportunity to be exposed to all these different entrepreneurs, all these different people that can share their wisdom and insights, because one idea can change your life today.
They want to be part of the outcome, but they don't necessarily want to be part of the process because it's scary. And if they hear you say collision and they're afraid of conflict, I got to go to the restroom. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Yes, they've done that.
I realized there's over 27 different hormones and hormone metabolites that exert a tremendous effect on your body, your mind, your performance, and whether you live or die.
You can actually like apply something to that.
Oh, absolutely.
You have 100 people working with you, right? But you are not clear on where we're going. But if you're not open about that, if there's no conversation, no connection between you and your entire team, how can you expect people to be engaged?
Yes, 100%.
It's not about the bonuses. It's not about the extra days
100%.
off. When you think about Google and stuff and all these, Silicon Valley companies, the reason they're successful is because they have the other piece down. Because they know where they're going.
One new concept, one new thing you can take back to your workplace, one new thing you can take back to your company, one new thing you can take back to your family to change the way you think and see and change everything about what you're doing and the actions you're going to take. All right, welcome back, folks, to the Fireside Chats. Today we got Gus Van Dender, the nose bender. And there's a story behind this, and you will not want to miss this episode. Gus and I originally met literally on the thing called Voxer. I heard his voice for the first time, and we're sharing our worst secrets and the things we screwed up most in our lives to 20 other men in our lives. And for the next 4 weeks, I think it was 4 weeks back then.
4 weeks. Yep.
4 weeks of prep. Every day we had to talk into this Voxer, sharing different things about it. Where's our darkest moments? Where's our greatest moments? What are the worst things we've done? Where are we lying to ourselves, and where are we lying to other people in their lives? And that's how Gus and I bonded in a very intense thing called Warrior Week through Wake Up Warrior through Garrett J. White's program. It's one of the transformational moments of really a lot of our lives in a lot of ways, and this bonding of a group of people that truly made a real change because they were willing to be open and honest. They were really to open themselves up and say, here's where I am at. Here's all my faults. Here's the things I suck at. Here's all the things I'm great at. Like, just here's who I am as a human. And the growth we've had since then it's only been almost a little over 2.5 years ago now, 2 years and a quarter.
Yeah.
And almost we're almost
2016.
at 3 years.
Almost 3, yeah.
And the transformation has been amazing. So now Gus has built a ton of companies. He's from Belgium. He's now building another company with him, and his wife has a couple companies running right now. And we're going to dive into all kinds of different subjects. But Gus, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you.
Thank you.
And
It's an honor.
And I'd love to just tell a little bit about, like, what are some of the companies that you've built in the past, and what are you working on right now? And just kind of share with the audience a little bit if you want, and then we'll dive in some more.
Okay, yeah. I'm almost embarrassed to go through the whole list because there's so many. But I guess that's just something that I've come to grips with, is that that's what I do, right? And it's one of the things that, in this process that you were talking about, we often do not want to accept who we are, right? Because we're looking at somebody else, and we're looking at, oh, look at that guy or that person, and look at what they're building, right?
100%.
So when, and it's interesting, right? The first thing that comes up when you ask me that question, I'm like, oh shit, now I have to expose myself and tell you, I've pretty much built 7 businesses in the last 10 years, 12 years, right? And for a long time, I looked at that as a failure, right? But why did I not stick with one? Why do I not have an established business with 100 employees and steady revenue? And well, because I chose not to.
Yeah.
Right? Because I now understand, and I've come to grips with that's who I am, and I
Yes.
love building shit.
And you know what's funny? Like I've come to the same thing. Like I'm really good at like 0 to 5, 0 to 10 million. Like that's what I've really got good at. For me to change that, I need to change a whole other skill set. I need to start developing myself. Like it's just this. Like I love launching. I love building. I love that's like from 0 to 100 employees, 0 to 10 million. Like that range, 0 to 50 employees. Like that's really what I love doing. And like I had to come to that conclusion. Like that, and literally I had a consulting company. One of the top consultants. She's actually gonna be here today. They actually are executive search firm, right? That's what they do. They're an executive search firm. And she's worked for Booz Allen Hamilton. She's done all these amazing, like she ran search for and recruiting for Allergan. She's like, Troy, like if you wanted to go here, you're gonna have to let someone else be able to take the company from here to there. Because your skill sets really seems like here to here with and aggregating people and being a visionary. And it was like, and I literally had 7 days of feedback, Gus. Like it was crazy. Like Garrett for 2 days, like on me about my lack of leadership and where I need to step up and rise. And then 2 days with Scott and Zach, and then 2 days with her, and then another day. And I'm like, okay, I'm really identifying who I am. So keep going.
Yeah, you have to accept it, right?
It's crazy.
And that's the thing, right? And then as soon as I did that, then all of a sudden I realized, wait a second, I have been successful.
Yeah.
I've been successful in what I'm good at, right? I built a payroll company.
Yeah.
I built a home healthcare company.
Yeah.
I built a software company. I built another payroll company that had insurance involved in it. And then we built a digital marketing agency with my wife.
Yeah.
My wife now launched a CBD infused skincare cream. And the list just goes on, because while I was doing all of that, I was also a consultant helping other businesses launch things, right?
So you're really good at launch.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I
0
do.
to 1.
0 to
0
1.
to 2.
Yeah.
Like 0 to 1, 0 to 2 is like the great, like, and you're good at it. Like, I mean, we even had you come and help me like sort through some issues, slicing and dicing some stuff even at our company for a while. And I was like, yeah, Gus, that's amazing. Like that's your thing. I mean,
That's
like maybe
my
that's, I mean, like I'm starting to realize like what's my thing. I was like, oh, I like to build an idea, take it to this level and stick with it and bring the right teams together and organize the people and the passion. And yeah, that's what and coming to that conclusion, how do I live this out more rapidly now?
Yeah.
Like that's my own question is like, how do we live our giftings and our talents and how do we find it? And like, I think you're a good example. I mean, Ketch is like, and I wasn't even trying to talk yet, but like, this is the perfect example of figuring out what your gifting and talent is by just going and doing a lot. And where you're gifting the talents in your company and getting the feedback from God, the universe, and like where things just start showing up and you're like, well, what does all this mean? And having other people help interpret that this is who we are, like, and this is what we're good at, and then really walking in those gifting and talents. So
yeah. What I would add to that, Troy, is that it's also about accepting that, right? It's one thing to realize what that is. Right, but for me personally, the most important step was the day where I was like, okay, this is it. I accept that. Thank you for that gift. I've been trying to be somebody else. I've not accepted this gift that I have, and it hasn't worked. So for me, that point of acceptance is like the most important thing, because oftentimes we know what our gifts are. We know what we're good at, but we don't want to admit it. Because it's not sexy. It's not what we think we should be doing, right? So when you get to that point, all of a sudden it becomes fun, right? What's wrong with boring? You know, I've seen so many companies, successful entrepreneurs, and you know, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. We're in Starbucks, right? And we're talking about the same topic. And I see these little holders, the metal holders that hold the price tag for the stuff that they had in the fridge, right? I'm like, dude, who do you think makes that little holder?
Sounds like a Tom Cruise line, like out of that movie, bartender movie. What was that one? Do you remember the old Tom Cruise movie? He's like someone that makes these little umbrellas is a millionaire.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
That was just quote in the movie. Like, I can't remember the movie. I love that movie. It was awesome.
What's it? He makes the drinks.
Yeah, he makes his drink cocktail.
Cocktail. Yeah.
Best movie, same thing.
But it's true.
True.
Like, it's such a boring product.
Yes.
But guess who? The person who's making that little holder.
Yeah.
It's in every Starbucks in the entire world. I mean, he's a millionaire. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
right? And he's probably, it's not about the money necessarily. He feels accomplished because he built a big company, he made an impact,
Yeah.
right? I guarantee you this person, woman, man, I don't know who it is, feels fulfilled.
Yeah.
And it's because he or she accepted that, okay, I have this idea.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's sexy or
Yeah.
not. This is just what I need to go do.
Yeah.
Right? And that brings me back to that concept of just accepting that. Like, it's the hardest thing to do, but it's also the easiest thing to do.
So when you said that, like, why is that good that someone just does what they do really well and they feel that sense of purpose? Because it's like, whatever your hand sets to do it with all your might. Like that old quote, right? Whatever your hand sets to do with all your might and you will be prosperous. Like almost like that. And it's like, and some things aren't sexy. Sometimes like you're digging ditches. Like I've done that. I literally have done, I've dug ditches. I put in, worked in plants and put in sprinkler systems as a kid, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like I loved washing dishes. Like I really did. I had a blast as a kid and I had a blast. Like the harder the work, the better off you feel, I feel like sometimes. And it's like,
yeah, more satisfied.
yeah, like why is that? Like where does that come from? What do you think? I mean, like you just brought it up, so.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, first of all, when I listen to all the stories that you tell about all the stuff that you've done, I feel like you've had like 4 lives already. Like,
I feel like I'm a slave
like,
for a lot of people, Gus.
like 4 different people in one,
Yes.
right? But why is that? I think it's just because it's natural, right? Like if you, the first thing that comes to mind is like if you look at nature just does what it does, right? So if you do what comes natural to you, then obviously you're going to feel good about it. Obviously it's going to be in line with your balance, like your being, right?
Yes.
Your who you are,
Which
your
just
core,
comes out,
your energy, like you just do, right? Without questioning it, without thinking, is this the right thing? Is this not the right thing? Should I be doing that? Is it about the money? Is it about whatever? It doesn't matter. All those questions don't matter, right? But if you're just in line with who you are, and it's natural, just like everything else around us, like all of this stuff that we see is just it's just there, right? That orange doesn't think about, how big. Oh, it's a lemon.
They're great lemon trees.
Imagine a lemon wanting to be an orange. That would suck, right?
Correct.
I
So
mean,
this thing right now is what happened to me recently. Like I was working with this guy. He'll be on the show in a couple episodes here. Robert D. McDonald. So Robert's asked me like, "What is your purpose? What's your mission?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he went through this exercise, and we discovered what my life's mission is, who I am as a person, like what I'm really driven to do with my life. And it's 2 things. It's to encourage and be encouraged. That's why I love this show. I love to encourage you guys. I love to share with you what I'm doing. The people that come into my life that encourage me, the people that come into my life and really impact me and I learn from and I grow from. I try to bring them on here and say, please share with us the rest of the world, because we need more people giving the best of who they are, the best of their thoughts, the best of their energy out to the outside world to impact other lives, because there's not enough people living at their highest level of impact where we can change things about this world. And that's where the part of me to encourage, and then I love to sit here and sit with people like Gus and be encouraged, be inspired, listen to his wisdom. And this is like the 2 things I love. That's why I love going to conferences. I love putting on events like this, and I love impacting other people's lives and speaking at events and putting on and working with the entrepreneur program. We had the Cal State Fullerton MBA program and their entrepreneur program here for a 1-day event, and it was amazing to work with these young people building amazing businesses, dynamic people, hungry to learn. And I love being in those environments. And it's like, that's why we're doing this show. It's like I'm unlocking and even building companies. I love walking the company, encouraging others in the company, and then being encouraged by others, and all of us building cool companies together, doing cool things together. I mean, we're doing Balanced Genetics, with the team. One of the girls from the Balanced Genetics team's here in the background right now. Like, we're just doing cool things together with cool people to impact people's lives. It's just awesome. So Gus, what is this next stage, man? Like, you've got all these learnings now.
Yeah.
You've grasped like all these cool things about you. Like, man, the depth of like you has changed so drastically over the last 3 years. And like, where's this vision now of like, where are you going next in your life?
Yeah. So this whole idea around, you know, creating and launching, right? As soon as I held on to that and I realized, okay, that's what I need to be doing, I wanted to see how can I make the most impact in that, right? And it's interesting. It took me 45 years to figure this out, which is crazy.
It takes
right?
a long time to figure
it
your life out.
It takes a long time.
And you constantly
and
evolve.
it evolves. Yeah.
It never stops evolving. You're like, holy crap.
So I'm like, okay, what does this all mean? Like when I'm involved in a business, when I help an entrepreneur grow their business, what are we really doing, right? And that was one of the struggles that I was having, right? In my own business, in working with other entrepreneurs, it seemed to always be around money. Okay, we can grow the business because then we can grow the top line, the bottom line, we can all be more prosperous. But I realized that it's not about that. That is just a byproduct of it. And I'm not saying money is not important, it is important, right? It solves a lot of problems, right? But it can also become a problem if you look at it differently. So I thought what we're really doing is impacting the part of people's lives that they spend the most time in. Like if you look at it, work.
100%. That's like, I feel the same way. Like, I think it's why we're in alignment.
Yeah.
Like, I want to figure out, how do I impact people's work life? How do I get people to live this amazing life? But a lot of it is in the work context. Like, how do we build performance management? How do we encourage people? How do we encourage our fellow employees? How do we learn as a group of people and grow and accelerate each other's lives, not with conflict, not in a bad, negative way, but colliding in love to help change and form each other, to smooth out our rough edges and live an amazing work life and get along, have better family lives. And it's not, work is fun. Work should not, I mean, like, we're just,
work
let's do
fun.
this, woo! You
Work
know,
should
like,
be fun.
fired up. Like,
I want to stop this idea that we go to work to earn a paycheck.
Correct.
And have people live paycheck to paycheck. I want to instill this idea, this concept that work is a place where we grow, where we evolve.
Yes.
Right? And I want people to feel like they're part of a community.
You're
I
doing
want
great,
people
articulate.
I mean,
I feel like I'm about to get saved right now. Like, hey man, this is our new religion or something. Like, yes, this is it, Gus. Keep going.
Yeah, because we do spend so much time there, and it's always associated with our purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. There's other levels, obviously, but inside of creation, inside of your job, is where you can find most of your purpose. Like, this is where I can impact the client, and it doesn't matter what level you are, right? Because that's okay. Like, we're all different, right? My purpose, my passion is different than yours. Is different than the girl that does an amazing job inside of your office doing what she does, right? And she can be even more passionate about that particular task. But in my opinion, it has to be part of a community. It has to be part of a culture inside of that company.
Yeah.
And then we're all going to be better off, right? Because then we get rid of this idea that, oh, I have to go to work on Monday. I don't want to go because the only reason I'm doing this is because I need money to feed my kids and pay rent.
So why?
It should be a
why do we do all
byproduct.
this?
Yeah. Why?
Like, so why? Like, what do you think, Gus? How do we change this context around work where, like, we're fired up to go to work on Monday, even if it's not our dream? Like, digging ditches wasn't my dream job, but I had a blast doing it. I literally had a blast digging ditches. Even with my dad as a kid, he made it fun sometimes. And like, and there's like this thing of like even going to wash dishes and scrubbing dirty, greasy pots for Alan Lau at China Garden. Jody Allen, Mark Chancery, Jason Lee, and I, we had a blast. Like, I mean, you could have asked for a more fun job in junior high and high school, kind of like rolling egg rolls, cutting shrimp, like being dirty, disgusting, smelly, cleaning bathrooms, and we just had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
Like, how do you now do that in the modern context of work? I mean, what are your, like, I'm just curious, like, what are your insights you've been gaining from all this, out of curiosity?
Yeah, well, obviously it comes from the top down.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of founders, and a lot of business owners have not grasped onto that idea yet, because they, when you start a business, typically you're really passionate about what you do, right? You seldom just roll into it and wake up owning a company, right? It never happens that way. It's because you are passionate about something. But then along the way, somehow we forget about that because there's so much stress.
We lose the passion.
We lose the passion.
Somewhere like yes.
Because there's so much stress.
Yes.
I gotta pay the bills. I gotta meet
Yes.
payroll. I gotta
Yes.
talk to these vendors.
Sucks.
Compliance.
Yes.
Like there's so much stuff
Yes.
that comes with running a business that we forget about that. But then because that is like in our face every day, we also forget that we hired people to share that passion with us.
Yeah.
We hired them to solve all those problems.
Yes.
Right? So that is my goal. That is my mission, to change that and to open our eyes, to open the company leadership's eyes to like, wait a second, we got this wrong. We didn't start this to fix all these problems.
No, yes.
We started this
Yes.
because we had a solution for a problem.
Correct.
And we're passionate about doing
Correct.
this for our clients.
So like this was a revelation I learned decades ago, and it wasn't until just recently. I'm still trying to figure out how to even frame this, but it's like you've got to serve another man's vision, another woman's vision one day, and then you'll have your own almost. Like there's somewhere in your life, and different people are maybe called at earlier ages or whatever, sometimes just to launch into things. But one of the greatest things I ever did in my life was serving another man's and another woman's vision. And I gave my heart to these people. Alan Lau gave my heart to that guy and busted my ass and learned a lot. There was a guy that ran my buddy Jared's uncle that had the plant nursery. I mean, I busted my ass to the plant nursery. I busted my ass for Alan Campion for the lifeguard corps, right? I busted my ass for Karen Cooley and Eric Favier had the restaurant. Like, and there's all these people that by serving them, like I enjoyed my life. Like, and it built me because I served another person's vision. And I like literally built all these muscles in myself and developed all these amazing abilities because I was underneath and learning from amazing leaders, and by serving them and being around them, I picked up their energy, I picked up their skill set, I picked up their tenacity. Alan Lau was a grinder, a 6-7 day a week grinder, and I watched him day in, day out, day in, day out. Wake up, go to work, come home, take care of the family. Wake up, go to work, come home, take care of the family. Not screwing up his life. And I watched these people do these amazing things, and I wouldn't have had the same understanding about entrepreneurship. I wouldn't have the same understanding about 0 to 5 to $10 million companies if I did not be around these people. Like the work ethic I was able to absorb from these people, my dad, watching him grind, watching him learn, watching him educate, like by serving another man or a woman's vision will truly impact your own. And it almost like takes the pressure off you for a while to say, okay, I'm just gonna be here now, and serve another person's. And that grows you. And I'm not sure where to go with that teaching, but it's something I learned a huge impact in my life.
Yeah.
Huge impact.
I can imagine, because I mean that's what it's all about, right? But I feel that it has, like I said earlier, it has to come from the person who has the vision and drawing other people in to support that. Correct. Right? Because if you are kind of confused and lost and you don't know what that purpose is and you don't know what that vision is, it's going to be very hard for you to make that step and attach yourself to somebody. Correct. Right? But if you're invited, right, it's a different story.
So casting vision.
Correct.
You got to cast the vision.
Correct.
Like literally, like a net, just going whoosh, and see what you catch, and who do you drag into your vision? Like, here's our vision for Simpleris. We're going to build a company that does amazing things. Like, we're going to build a company that serves the legal community at the highest level. We're going to build Balanced Genetics or whatever that helps people that have a healthier, happier life, basically. Like, how do you do this and like bring them in? Like casting vision, encouraging, and feeling have that energy behind you to bring
constantly talk about it, like that.
You have to live cast a vision. See how far we can actually go with this process. How far we can go with Simpleris. How far we can go with Balanced Genetics. Like that's what I have to constantly do. And it just naturally comes out of me, though. You know.
And guess how many ideas you're going to get from your staff, because they're there for a reason, right? At one point they said, yes, I want to work with you for a reason. But if you don't constantly remind them of, hey, where are we going? Like that, there's been so many studies done on, asking the executives, if we ask your team what your vision is for the company, how many will nail it? guess what they say? Well, 70%. What
One,
is the
2,
real?
3%,
2 or 3%.
Probably. Like I
Exactly.
can't even articulate it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I just see this picture and I'm trying to like get it out of my head and be like, guys, here's where we're going. I see it, but to articulate it, to map it out, to make a picture so other people can catch it.
Yeah.
Man, that's powerful
hard.
if you can do that at that level. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we are trying to work on that. We're trying to even do that for ourselves with our marketing, even to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're trying to train our brain to say, okay, can we picture this vision of where we're going to end up, what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, what it's going to taste like, the sounds, the feelings, the energy. Like when we hit this goal, when the company's doing this, and we built this out, what is that experience going to be like so we can internalize it, and then people can actually take action toward that goal.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what we've been trying to do over, and like I have hit my head against the wall so many times trying to do this very thing. Like
Yeah.
it's a growth process of leadership.
It's hard.
I mean,
it's
it's
very
so
difficult. Yeah, yeah, and we often default to, you know, giving people rewards, right? We think engagement is going to go up if we give more days off, or we give them a T-shirt, or we give them like these things. But that's not what works. Like think
What is
about it.
What is
well,
what works?
it's what we just talked about. Like just think about this concept, right? You have 100 people working with you, right? But you are not clear on where we're going. How do you think these 100 people are going to know where they're going? Like how can you expect them to be engaged and passionate about what they're doing if one, you don't know, two, you don't communicate it to them?
Correct.
I mean, that's the start. Like you got to have that conversation, and even if you're not 100% clear, then just say you're not 100% clear.
Yes.
I have this idea, right? This is where I think we're going to go. But if you're not open about that, if there's no conversation, no connection between you and your entire team and everybody else, you know, included, how can you expect people to be engaged?
Yes, 100%.
It's not about the
No, that's it.
bonuses.
Yes,
It's not
no,
about the extra days
100%.
off. I mean, it's fun. It's not about the ping pong table
Yeah.
and, you know, like when you think about Google and stuff and all these, you know, Silicon Valley companies, that is just the surface. The reason they're successful is because they have the other piece down. Because they know where they're going.
So, how long are we into right now? I'm not sure. I think we need to start wrapping up a little bit. But the one thing I want to go into next real quick is like, Gus, what changed you? Like, what are the things that really changed you over the last 3 years, and that process that you applied to yourself right now to make you this dynamic businessman where your peace, your congruency, your relationships on fire, your business life's on fire. You as a dad, you're an amazing father and an amazing entrepreneur. You're an amazing husband now and an amazing entrepreneur. You're an amazing father and an amazing entrepreneur now. You're really hitting on all these levels. Like, what is the thing that transformed inside of you? What is that process? And I'd love for you to share what you went through, what you're doing now to even and stay in this point to where you're like not getting bored, you're not breaking down, you're not falling apart, you're not crumbling, you're staying focused through all these ups and downs and all these challenges that are coming and weaving, and you're still trying to pour into your wife, pour into your kids or kid, you know what I mean? And like in the business and you're still trying to make it all work. What was the thing that changed you, and like what are you doing now?
Yeah. So I can contribute it to one thing, and you know, this obviously happened inside of Warrior, right, where you and I met, and where I found myself at this lowest place in my life, right, and it was the lowest place in my life because things were still kind of working, but there was no balance. There was no, you know, what you just touched on, you know, being a good father and a good entrepreneur and a good husband. It's hard, right? Because we don't know how to balance that out. But this one thing that I discovered was that I had no love for myself. Zero. And that just made everything harder because I didn't have a starting point to then build from, right? So how can I love you if I don't love myself? How can I connect with you if I don't know who I am and what I'm passionate about and what my purpose is? So until that moment, I felt like I was just living life. I've had an amazing life. I mean, I can talk for hours and hours and hours, just like you. Sometimes I feel like I had 4 lives in one, right? I've done more in these 40 years than some people could do in 3-4 lives, right? But I was just, I don't know, I was just kind of lost.
So how did you learn to love yourself? Because I literally had the same experience.
Yeah.
Recently, someone told me I just need to love all of me, and like I just need to love myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what's the benefit of that? How do you do that? Like, how do I love all of myself and not hate different parts, not hate my body fat or whatever, and like in my stomach, and how to just really embrace and love all of me and not be so angry with myself and so hard on myself and so like, oh, I can't believe I screwed that up, and full of guilt and full of like shame on things and like guilt. I didn't get to that thing. I didn't do that. I didn't follow through. I had so much guilt, and I was hard on myself for not being late or whatever, like dropping the ball, not getting my walk done, you know, or something, like all these things.
Yeah.
And they kept piling up, and I was like, oh, I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Like stacks are like, I'm a bad person almost.
Yeah.
Like, and no, how'd you go through your
Well,
process?
it comes back to that point that I made earlier, is acceptance, right? I just accept everything. Like it is what it is. And guilt comes from a place where you don't accept who you are, what you did, and whether that was right or wrong. So if you keep fighting that, then it's really hard to love yourself.
Yes.
If you keep fighting the things that, for whatever reason, you don't accept, for whatever reason, whatever stories that you have created around it, whether they came from somebody telling you that, or you read it somewhere, or it's just innate to you, the way you think, then it's very difficult. Because I can come up with 100 stories to tell myself that I'm a bad person.
So what is it specifically you're doing to accept yourself? Like, what were the ways to change your stories or accept yourself that you're doing that you're like, okay, I'm a good person, I love myself, I'm loving all of me? Is it just you're just sitting there, like I had a video camera on you and audio, and it's watching and recording what you're doing, what does that look like? Like, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of this constant process of it sounds very practical and tactical, but it's like
That's what I need.
I know, it's like this constant analysis and questioning of thoughts that come up, right? It's almost this constant state of meditation where things happen, I'm present, so I'm sucking up all these impulses, and everything that comes to me elicits a feeling, right? Or thoughts.
Yeah.
And before, I would not even listen to that, because I was so busy with busyness, right? Busy being busy for no reason, with not even knowing where I was going. But now I have this inner, I don't want to make this sound too like spiritual, but it is really. It's this sense of calm where everything has slowed down around me, even though everything still moves as fast as it did.
Correct.
But I'm aware of what's happening. I'm aware of what you're telling me, and I'm listening to it. And then I'm analyzing how I react to that internally with thoughts and feelings. And then I question that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Should I be angry when Troy says this or this or this? Should I be angry that it rained for a month and I couldn't go surfing? Like silly things, right? But I'm constantly questioning that. I'm constantly in the moment, analyzing what's happening. What are the impulses that are coming to me, and what is happening internally as a reaction to that, and then question that reaction.
Yes.
That's really, if you want to break it down to what is the system that I'm using, then that's what it is.
So where inside of you right now, folks, are you reacting to things? Where are you not in this state of calm Gus is talking about? What do you need to start applying to your life? Like, one of the things I learned was a meditation where I imagined myself on top of the moon with giant Dumbo ears, listening at pure silence to get myself in calm. And like right from there, like I can like, and then everything I hear is just sounds, and I can do what I want with it. It doesn't affect me. And here I am sitting on this amazing day in front of this amazing harbor, and I'm hanging with Gus. I can hear the airplanes going by. I can hear the dogs walking by and the dogs barking in the background. I can hear the neighbors talking in different houses around here, and the boats going by, and the planes keep going by, and helicopters, and another boat goes by, but yet I can hear these sounds. It's like, oh, it's okay. I'm at calm. I'm at peace. And I learned how to create peace at any given moment of my life. And that's like one of the modalities I've learned recently, just because the chaos never ends. The seagulls keep coming, the noises keep coming, the birds keep coming, the flies keep flying around us, the appointments, the disasters, the employee problems, the issues, the challenges, they keep hitting us at all ends. And when we learn to put ourselves in a calm state, and we're just able to breathe, and we're back to calm, we can process anything, we can handle anything. We don't go to burnout, we don't go to boredom, we don't go to the pit, we actually go toward our destiny from the pain. And we do this over, and we don't have to sedate because of the problem, we have to sedate because of the pressure. We don't have to go into porn or alcohol or cigarettes or all these things. We learn how to just be with the moment and be with this calm sense of feeling, because that's where it is. The quote is, be here now, and it's the shortest thing that ever happens. It's like that moment is now gone, and now we're in this moment. And it doesn't matter what else is happening, but if you're good in this very moment, it is always the best of times, and it's always the worst of times in some way. And I feel like that's what I'm learning lately in my own life, where it's like, it's the best of times and the worst of times, but as long as I can be calm, I can feel the love, I can feel the peace, and I can put myself in this state, things will happen right. So, so
Absolutely.
anything you want to share, Gus, to wrap up this today with, and tie this show up, and we'll kind of wrap it up and for the day? Like, I'm not sure what's on your mind right now. I would just let whatever inside of you just come out to the audience, man.
Yeah, I felt like you just picked up on what I put out there, right? And you said it in your own words, and it's so important to just be in the moment.
Yeah.
And that combined with being very clear about where you want to go, who you want to be around, and basically manifesting that in an environment where sometimes it's just stillness, and not be distracted by everything that is going on, because like you said, it will never stop. Like the world is chaos. Nature is chaos. Everything's chaos around us. But inside of that chaos, if you're very clear on like I said, who you are and where you want to be, then you can just take a moment and be like, okay, where am I at? Okay, we're here. Yeah, that was shitty, but okay, let's forget about that. I'm clear that I'm going here. And guess what's gonna happen? You're just gonna keep moving forward. Right? And whether that is building a business or building a relationship or having a new baby or whatever that event is that you're focused on at that moment, just like get rid of all the noise for a minute. All right, let's go.
And it's in that moment, in that state, is when a lot of things happen for me. Like I'm just like, okay, no matter what's going on, I'm like, okay, let's go. And the rapid decisions, and what would be a 5-hour decision-making process becomes 5 minutes. Would be a 50-hour debate with tons of people getting involved. No, I'm the leader. I'm clear. We're going this direction. We're not going to change things. And it's learning to trust our own intuition in that moment, because we are present with what's going on. We are able to receive all the information. We're able to receive and process everything going around, and then we learn to trust our own intuition when we're calm and we're quiet and we're still, and we're able to say, no matter what, I believe I can trust what's showing up inside of me, so I can go this direction because I am here in this moment. So that's one of the great other revelations I've been picking up, is like trusting my own intuition from that state, where to go, what to do, how to do it. Because I always want to get feedback through other people. I want to go, Gus, what do you think about this? Mark, what do you think about this? Scott, what do you think about this? Zach, what do you think about this? And trying to get all these feedback loops going all over the place to try to justify my own thoughts and my own feelings, what I'm experiencing, where I think we should go with all my own experiences and my own thoughts, and say, this is the direction I feel we need to take things. So, Gus, I love this. So cool. Thank you very much for being on this show.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to have links down below, guys, for you to click on, find more about Gus, what he's up to, some of the things. If you need Gus to help you with some of you're building a company, you're at stuck stages, you're launching something, you need someone to help come and consult on different areas of your company. Gus is absolutely amazing, can laser in like almost like a sniper and just knock off things one after another after another after another, and help coach you along the way, because we've learned these same principles together. Principles that make us functional as humans on a daily basis. Principles that make us really dynamic, so then when we go in the work context, we are full of power, and he can help guide the process and help you and your employees and your teams and your systems all get to the place where they are really truly in harmony, where people are having fun at work, where people are living this life at a much higher level and saying, man, I love going to work, I love doing these things, I love building things together with cool people. Whatever that feeling is you want in your company, Gus is elite at really stepping up, and his life has changed. And if you can catch this, if you can change your own life and go through the process and really live it, you're a leader. Because the quote is this: the leader of one is the leader of many. But if you can't lead the one, you can't lead any. Who's the one? You're the one. Gus has changed his life. He can lead others now because of that. He has the authority now from what he's been through, what he's walked through, and now can help you walk through the same thing. So Gus, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks.
Until next time, folks, come back to watch the next Fireside Chat episodes.
There
and
we go.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and go onward. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Troy.